Welcome back. This is a vintage bike restoration guy. Today I would like to talk to you about staying healthy in your shop, keeping your shop appropriately clean, especially whenever you're dealing with vintage bikes like I do. You have to understand something that a lot of times we deal with heavy metals, we deal with leaded paints, this type of thing. There are a lot of things in your shop that can be harmful to you. So I wanted to go over a few tips and things that I do to help keep your shop safe and sound. First of all, what I do is I use a N95 mask. This is the softer type. I find this really easy to use, to breathe through, fits nice and snug, does a great job. What I do with these is that I will wash them out once or twice, and then that's it. I discard them. I washed this one out yesterday. It's perfectly clean, ready to go for the next round. One of the other things that I use is a pair of over the glasses goggles. These are anti-fog type. Does a great job. Remember, you only have your eyes one time. You lose your eyes, you're going to be really frustrated in your shop. Even if you're dealing with one eye, and excuse me, we may have some shop owners with one eye, and we know how that is. So we're trying to prevent this, keep you healthy, keep your shop healthy. Um, so one of the things that I would like to tell you is that once we start off with the N95 and the goggles, after we get through with our day's work, what I like to do is I will wash my gloves. I've got several pairs of these, and what I do is that I wash these off because the contaminants and the fine powder, if you will, and these are the heavy metal particles will absorb into your gloves and they will transfer. So you don't want to transfer anything, like if you were to move up to your face or anything else, you don't want to transfer any of those particles. So after I've been doing certain types of work in the shop, I will wash these gloves. And what I do is that, yes, I'm endorsing these products. They pay me nothing for this. This is just something that I have learned over the years which ones to use. And this is a product called D-Lead. And what this is specialized soap that will take away these heavy metal particles from your skin pore. And they use them out on the firing range. If you're cleaning firearms or anything that is of a metallic matter, I would suggest using this. I use just one little pump. I transfer some of this to a pump bottle, and then I just use one little pump. That's all it takes. Said and done, and then you're ready to go. But what I do is that I wash these gloves 2 times with the D-Lead, then I'll wash them 1 time with the Dawn liquid here, and then do a thorough rinse numerous times. Hang those up. They're good to go pretty much by the next day, so you're good to go. One of the other things that I like to do is I'll take. I know that some of these things sound unusual, but if you are in your shop and understand what's going on, and you've got fine particles misting around your shop, so you're contaminating a lot of things in your shop unintentionally. But whenever I get through, I like to take a brush like this, and I'll just brush my arms off, and you'll see the debris hit the sink, and it's real fine particles. Well, you want to get that off first, then D-Lead with that, and then you're good to go. Of course, shower after you've been in your shop. But what I like to do is do that, and then whenever I vacuum my shop, I use vacuum that has a washable, reusable filter. These things are great. Filters out a lot of fine particles. That's exactly what you want. And as far as cleaning any kind of other surfaces, I use this particular product, Spray Away. It has a good neutralizer. Great product. I've used these things for years. This also comes in an aerosol can. And one of the things that I like to or want to go over with you is that I was just recently, as of yesterday, working on this bike fender. And this is from the 1950s, and I do want to make a correction. Some of the videos that I've been making recently, I've said that it was a 60s. It is not. It is from the 50s. I did a little more investigating from where I bought the bike from, found out a little more history about the bike. It is from the 50s. Well, I did some dent removal yesterday and just a little bit of mild sanding, and I want to show you, what comes off of that rag. You wipe off your work. You don't blow off your work with an air compressor or any kind of compressed air, whether it's by can or whatever. A lot of guys, they'll just spray things off, or a lot of people would just spray things off and away you go. Well, what you're doing, you're taking that particle and you're putting it into the air, and you're putting it possibly into your eyes and your nose. Even though you've got a great filter on, you've got great goggles on, you don't want to make more problems for yourself than what you need. And one of the other things that I do, especially on the days that I'm working with sanding or grinding, is that these rags that I use to wipe things down, whenever I put them in my trash can, I take the trash can out that day. I don't like to leave things in there. Again, we're talking about powder, we're talking about particles. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it as clean as possible. So, just clean your shop as best that you can all the time. And the next thing that I do, I know that this is going to sound a little unusual, but after I've left the shop, I blow my nose thoroughly, and you will see possibly little gray particles come from your nose. This is very important to expel from your body instead of breathing it in and getting it down into your lungs. So those are some little tips that I like to do. One of the other things that I wanted to share with you is that whenever you're working on something like a fender or anything else, secure that fender to your vise, some kind of clamp down, some type of table, whatever it may be. I don't care if you're working on a fender or you're working on smaller items. It doesn't make any difference what it is. What this does, this keeps, if I'm working on a fender, it keeps from me doing a misstep with the grinder or sander and digging into that metal a little bit more, creating more shavings and more debris out into the air. Plus I've created more work for myself on the product itself, which then you have to go back, you have to smooth out. So you've got things more secure and you've got more control over your items. So I'm going to post these tips along with my video so you can at a glance go over those things. I hope this has been helpful. Subscribe, click the like button if you wish, and I'll see you another time. Thank you very much.